Hey guys, it's Emma
and Maggie,
and welcome back to another episode of Love Ya Bye.
Today, we are going to be talking about the reality of having careers in social media, and we've been wanting to have an episode where we fully dive into this for a while. So we're going to talk about how we got started on YouTube, tips for growing your following, making money in social media, and just the reality of being an influencer and content creator that people might not realize.
But first, we're going to start off with our peak and pit of the week. This is our weekly tradition where we share the highest and lowest moments that happened to us this past week.
Okay, can I start first this time?
Sure.
Because I'm very excited this week because my collection with Revolve launches on March 30th. So it launches in 2 days. And I'm so excited because I have been working on this since June of 2022 and the day is finally here. And I feel like I've just been so excited to be able to see all of you guys wearing my collection, and I just can't wait for you guys to see the pieces. I feel like they're all so me, and I have also been just like sitting on the content that I've had for a month that I want to post on my Instagram, like from the photo shoot and just like the behind the scenes and all of that. So I'm just really excited to finally be able to share everything with you guys and then get to see you guys wearing my pieces and how you style them and all of that. So that is my peak of the week. And I think my pit is that honestly, we've had a few days this past month where it's like they have said that we're going to have a snowstorm and we just like never do. So I'm kind of sad about that because I really love the snow and it hasn't stuck to the ground. So I feel like that's my pit.
You should call Mother Nature and ask her why she hasn't let it snow yet. Okay, my peak of the week is when this episode comes out, I would have already been back from the trip, but I'm currently preparing for a trip to Napa with my boyfriend, and well, it's like a couples trip for my boyfriend's team. So like all the wives and like girlfriends or significant others, we got asked to like come on this trip with them. They have like a few games on the West Coast, so we're all going to Napa for 3 nights, which is going to be so fun. I'm really excited. I've never been to Napa before and I've always wanted to go. So I'm really, really, really excited and really happy for that. And then my pit is I don't really have a pit. I'm kind of
you're just living life,
I'm
girl.
just chilling. I mean, it's like before a trip, I feel like the only thing is I'm bad at packing. That's my one pit is packing. I literally cannot pack. And I'm also not bring Maggie. No, this is the most insane thing ever. I am not bringing a big suitcase with me on this trip.
Okay.
But I have so much stuff that I travel with. I travel with my makeup bag. I travel with my skincare bag.
Why are you not bringing a big suitcase?
I'm not going on the team plane with a big suitcase.
Why?
Because I'm not going to be the one that's carrying all her bags.
You don't
and
think
showing
that
up.
someone else's wife is not going to bring a big suitcase?
For sure, but like
they're not bringing carry-ons, babe.
Ass is not going to be the little influencer showing up with all her suitcases and like he already has one of his teammates that is his best friend who like we always hang out with, always makes jokes and is going to be and says like, oh, the Napa trip, I'm just gonna come on the plane and be like vlogging and being like, hi guys, I'm here with so and so. Obviously I'm not gonna do that, but they're just like making jokes.
I think you're thinking too much into it. And like, if you want to bring a suitcase, own that shit. If you want to bring a big suitcase, like, own that shit. Bring all your shoes. I would have a different pair of shoes every day. You bet your ass I would be bringing my big suitcase, the one that's a trunk. And I would bring my carry-on. And I would bring probably a duffel. I don't give a shit. If I go somewhere for 2 days, I bring my big suitcase.
That's how I am too. If I go somewhere for 2 days, like I bring a huge suitcase. I went to Portland and I only brought my carry-on because I didn't really need much. I was literally going to Portland. I brought like yoga pants and like comfy stuff. So I didn't even need to pack that much at all, which was perfect. But now I'm thinking for this and I'm like, I mean,
you're going to multiple different climates.
I know. I'm going to like Utah first. I'm going, and plus like there's like games that I'm going to be going to and I'm going to need like comfy clothes.
And then you have your Napa festivities, your wine tastings, like
activities and all
you're
that stuff.
You're bringing the suitcase.
One thing that used to take up a lot of space in my suitcase is my hair products, like my hair dryer and my all my like hairspray, all that type of stuff used to take up a whole section, right? Guess who is getting their extensions out tomorrow?
You are?
Yeah, I got them in over my birthday, and I just honestly, like, they're so fun for a minute, but I got claustrophobic the other day and I really want them out, so I'm gonna do that and probably just like get my hair a little like healthy cut, trim, whatever. And I don't need to bring a whole hair dryer because I don't need to dry these things.
That frees up so much space.
Yeah, and it also frees up a lot of weight on my head.
And a lot of time.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I love that. Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see your new hair. I can't wait to see your content from the trip. I can't wait to hear about it.
Thanks. Now let's get into the episode.
Oh my gosh. So I feel like this episode has a lot that we are going to unpack and talk about. We've never sat down and really talked about this type of stuff. So I'm really excited to get into it with you guys and like get really real about everything, because I wish that there was I do wish that there was a video like this, or at least like a podcast or something that had all this information in it when I first started. Because I remember I used to like sit there and look up things online and you would not be able to find anything. So hopefully this helps you guys listening if you are looking to start a career in social media. Yeah, I just feel like we have so many tips to share and want to like really bring you guys behind the scenes and like let you know all the details. So first, I guess we could touch on like how we started on social media, because we were getting a lot of questions about how we even started in the first place. And I started my YouTube channel in 2017. So did you, Emma, right?
Yeah.
And when we started, I feel like Instagram wasn't really even the way that it is now. Like back then in 2017, it was like you would just post for your friends. And a lot of people were still private.
All throughout my high school career, I posted as if I had a following.
So did I.
Didn't. But then finally my junior year, I don't know how, like what happened, I hit 10K and that's when I started my YouTube channel.
Yeah, I feel like you and I, like we would get all dressed up and like take pictures in the city.
I would fully
before we even started YouTube.
Yeah, I had like maybe like 6,000 followers and I'd be like, hi guys, like hope you're enjoying today. Like
yeah, on your story.
Yes.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like XX Maggie. Like all my friends from college, I'm like, okay.
No wonder why people made fun of me in high school. Like,
because they were probably like, what is this girl doing? She thinks that she's like a social media influencer and she's not.
Yeah.
But anyway, fast forward, we started YouTube and both of us kind of had a similar situation. Like we got our vlogging camera, which is the Canon G7X. That's the camera that I still use to this day. And I know a lot of other vloggers use it as well. It's kind of like the vlogging camera if you're interested in getting a specific camera for YouTube. But I started posting on YouTube and my mom had told me that I needed to post every single day for 30 days because she bought me the camera and she was like, you haven't used it as much since I bought it for you and I'm going to return it if you don't post on YouTube and if you're not serious about this. So post every single day for 30 days because it'll become a habit. And so I posted every day. I did like a 30-day challenge on my channel. The OGs remember if you followed me back then. But ever since then, I just like didn't stop posting and it became what it is now. So it really did. That is what jump-started my career on YouTube.
Same with me. I posted every single day for a whole month and then I haven't stopped. We haven't stopped. Either of us haven't.
No, it like turned into what it is now. So I told my best friend Graydon to do that, but with TikTok, I told him post every single day on TikTok for like 30 days straight. And at first he was like, well, what if I don't have enough content to post? Like, what if I run out of ideas? Like, what if I just don't know what to say one day? I'm like, just say what comes to your mind and post whatever you feel like posting that day. But just make sure that you're consistent with it.
TikTok's different. I feel like you have to post like multiple times a day, every single day.
Yeah, but consistency is key.
But consistency in any platform is key. Instagram, YouTube, TikTok.
And when we first started out on YouTube, I feel like vlogging was like just getting in the stage of it being popular. I feel like a lot of people used to do like the sit down videos, like the favorites videos, get ready with me, fashion videos.
It was definitely transitioning because I did do a few sit down like favorites. I did a favorites video every month.
Me too.
I did challenges with my best friends. Like I did like the whisper challenge. I did like the best friend tag.
I did the yoga challenge with Arlen.
Oh my gosh. I remember my first ever YouTube video was my makeup, not my makeup, my skincare routine. And it's so awkward. Like if you go all the way back to my first video, it's so funny. I used like St. Ives scrub. Like it was really funny. But all I really showed was like I vlogged my high school, what I did in school and stuff, which was big during that time, is like vlogging school. Because I feel like not many people
especially as a
vlog
high
school
schooler.
anymore.
My first video, I did a vlog of Marcus's birthday.
Oh
And I
my
vlogged
gosh.
his like 20 or like his 19th or 20th birthday. No, I don't even think he was 20 yet. I think it was like his 19th birthday. And I remember I came to Boston and him and Lily got a hotel and we like
Didn't
went out to
Sally
dinner.
send champagne or something?
No, Lily's mom Kelly did.
Kelly did.
And like sent champagne to the room and we had like a bottle of Grey Goose and it was like just us in a hotel room and I vlogged it and it was so funny and like we went to Tate and went out to dinner and that was my first vlog. I did do sit down videos and like fashion videos and then I feel like over time we just transitioned into doing like daily vlogs and we did a lot of vlogging for like the next year with a lot of our friends, like you, me, Arlen, Gretchen. We had like our little group.
Yeah.
And we all used to vlog together.
Like travel. We
and
did a lot of
travel
travel
lot.
vlogs.
And I feel like for me, my content, like I never really had a time or like a specific video where I like went viral. But I feel like my content really started to take off when I left Bridgewater, my college, and I moved to Boston. Because I like got an apartment on my own and I was just like living in Boston, commuting and going to my classes and just like completely changed my life. And I feel like that's when my content like really took off.
Yeah, I didn't have a YouTube video that like went viral or anything. I feel like just all my high school content did so well. Like I look back and all those videos have like 600,000 views or more, which is so crazy. Which is also like I get it because that's so interesting, like watching high school and stuff like that. But then after I left high school, I started to blow up more because I was like, I graduated and I lived in a city and I moved.
And you just left after you graduated high school, moved to Boston, you moved in with me. And that was my senior year of college.
And that was my senior year of high school.
And I graduated college. I ended up graduating a year late because I like had to retake one of my classes like wouldn't fit in my schedule from the previous year. So, and then I had to move to the next year. So I graduated in 2020 and I was supposed to graduate in 2019. But I started my YouTube channel my junior year of college. So I had like always had jobs before I started YouTube. Like I was working at a resort on the Cape and I was a hostess. I like worked at a restaurant. I worked at a store. I always had just like different summer jobs when I wasn't in school. And I literally would work like over 50 hours a week. And then I would babysit on my one day off. And then I went to school my junior year, started my YouTube channel, and then I started making money on YouTube. So by the time I graduated college, like I was doing YouTube full time. I never like had another job and I was like posting YouTube on the side. Like I started YouTube before I had graduated. So that ended up becoming my career. And when I moved to Boston, I decided, I was like, okay, for my senior year, like I want to move to the city instead of staying in my college town because I was like so over going out and drinking and like the party scene. I really wanted to focus on YouTube because my channel had started to take off. Like I got 100,000 subscribers in like the first 8 months or something. So by May of 2018, I had 100,000 subscribers and I was like, I want to move to the city because I want to start posting like more vlogs and city content and just like really focus on my career rather than like going out and partying and like doing everything that people in my college were doing because I had just felt like I really wanted to focus on YouTube since that had like become my job. But I feel like the biggest piece of advice for people who want to start a career in social media, I know this sounds like so cliche and I feel like everybody says it, but honestly, just like being yourself and being consistent because obviously there's so many different people online and there's so much content out there, but nobody is like you. And I feel like if you just are like unique and don't try to keep up with the trends, that like sets you apart from everybody else, because I feel like especially nowadays, like it can get so saturated with like all the trends going on and stuff like that, that it's hard to kind of like set yourself apart from other people. But I just really think being unique and like individual gets you really far. Like you can't just like post once and expect to go viral or like get a career out of social media. I really feel like you have to be consistent with it, and also not go into it with the mindset that you like want to make money. I feel like people can just like see right through that. So just like showing what you're passionate about and being authentic and real like really gets you far. And I feel like people can pick up on your vibes like through the screen, as crazy as that sounds. Hey guys, just taking a quick break from the show to hear from our sponsors at ZocDoc. It's been super rainy and snowy lately, and with all the cold weather, people seem to be getting sick left and right.
Instead of Googling your symptoms at the first sign of sickness or texting your friends to figure out what's wrong, try ZocDoc.
With thousands of medical professionals at your fingertips, ready to listen and give you actual medical advice, ZocDoc is there for you when you need it most.
Trust me, don't waste your time Googling all your symptoms. It's not worth it, and you might end up getting the wrong info.
Instead, ZocDoc helps you find expert doctors and medical professionals that specialize in the care you need and the experience you want. They listen to you every step of the way. You'll have a peace of mind knowing that you got medical advice from experts instead of the internet.
ZocDoc is the only free app that lets you find and book doctors who are patient reviewed, take your insurance, are available when you need them, and treat almost every condition under the sun.
Choose from thousands of patient reviewed doctor profiles, upload your insurance, and then get the care you need. It's that easy.
Go to ZocDoc.com/loveyabuy and download the ZocDoc app for free. Then find and book a top-rated doctor today. Many are available within 24 hours. That's ZocDoc.com/loveyabuy. Now back to the show.
When it comes to making money on social media, like we started our channel and then we signed with a management company a few months after that. But we like came in contact with that management company because we had a couple of friends who were already signed with them. So that's how we first found a manager. But I know that there is like management companies now that like scout people online and they'll reach out to you via email. So always make sure that you have like an email in your bio. And also, if you are at the point where you have, I don't even know how many followers you have to have before you can like reach out to a management company, but you can also reach out to them as well.
Yeah, because I had 0 subscribers when I signed with our management company and I had 10K on Instagram.
But I feel like the times were different back then. Like
for sure.
And also we were signing with a company where like we already had friends there. He saw your potential.
Yeah.
Like I already had YouTube following. Like you had just started your channel, but like you were going to grow your channel with them.
Well, I had 2,000, not 0, but you know, it's okay.
And then from there, brands like started to reach out to us through the management company and we would get brand deals that way. So I feel like when it comes to like getting brand deals, because we got so many questions about this, a lot of the time brands will reach out if they like see you organically using their products. But I feel like when it comes to getting brand deals, like your management does bring in brand deals if they are like in contact with or like have connections with different brands, or also brands will reach out to you directly if they see you like using one of their products like in your video. Say it's like your favorite mascara and they notice that you talk about it all the time, they will end up like sending you an email wanting to maybe do like a partnership or something like that.
Yeah, whenever you talk about a product, just tag the brand that you're using.
You don't have to say yes to every brand deal as well.
100%. I feel like only say yes to ones that actually flow with your content rather than just like, because there's people out there that say yes to everything. They're posting like hi smile 24/7. You're just like, come on. Like I see it on Snapchat all the time, you know?
Yeah.
But like if it actually like goes with who you are as a brand and what you're trying to create, say yes to that, because then people see that you're just trying to make money and they're like, oh, she's a sellout, you know?
And so once you like grow your content or grow your following, I guess, and like post consistently with your content and brands start reaching out and you get a management company. We got a lot of questions about just like making money and obviously like how you make money and different sources of income on social media. So I feel like what people don't realize a lot is that there are multiple different ways to make money if you have a career doing social media. So there's ad revenue, which is when you post your YouTube videos, like the ads that are in YouTube videos, you get paid monthly from Google for your ad revenue. And then there's
Brand deals. Any brands.
So those are like your sponsored content either on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
And brands will pay you off of your analytics, not on how many followers you have. So normally your manager will send in like your, what is it called? Like a portfolio to them, like a whole analytics sheet. And then also there's affiliate links.
Yep, which are like the links that you put in your videos from like To Know It or
Shop My,
Amazon,
Revolve.
And then what's another one?
You know how like Instagram you can like have like a subscription or something, mm-hmm. Or like people like
I don't do that, but
I don't do that either, but some people do. Like they'll have second platforms that are subscription based.
Oh, like OF.
Well, I mean, I wasn't even gonna say OF, but
I know.
There's one called like Patreon or something. Mm-hmm. I don't do that, but some people do. Or like streaming, like stuff like that. Live, you can make money off of live streaming.
And then also people make money off of like merch and stuff like that.
Yeah, merch and brands that they come out with.
So there are multiple different sources of income when it comes to social media. So anyway, I feel like there was just never really a moment where either of us like decided, okay, we want to do social media as a career. But I know now like times are so different. So if you want to have a career in social media, like you literally, I believe like you can do anything you set your mind to. I think that there's room for everybody. And I love how nowadays there is possibility for anybody to be able to kind of like do whatever they want because of TikTok. Like TikTok really helps people build like their brand and give them a platform. So I just love that like anybody could start posting on there and then you could like make a career out of it. So definitely like just being consistent and being yourself and just like finding like what works for you and like what type of content that you want to post and then just like staying consistent with it.
When I started, I was 16 and I had no idea that it was going to turn into what it is now. Like I didn't know that you could turn this into a career, like you could even make money off of it. I honestly did it for fun because before that, like the summer before I started, I worked at a gas station and I pumped gas for my career. And I was also like in high school. So that was like my first, other than like babysitting and nannying and stuff like that, that was my first like real summer job. And then once I started to post and like be consistent with it, like at the end of my junior year, I hit 100K. And then at the end of my senior year, I hit 200K. I also like applied to colleges and everything, like planning on going to college, but towards the end of my senior year, I started making, not even towards the end, but like towards the end of junior year, I started making money. Towards the end of my senior year, I started making like good money where like I was able to look at it and be like, okay, I could either go to college, get a degree in like for like a real job, or I could just continue with this and see where it goes, and college is always an option if I need it. And that's like what I did. So I had no idea that it was going to turn into a career, but once like it did, I'm really happy that like this is my career.
Yeah, and happy that you made the decision that you did.
Yeah.
Even though like you could have gone to college and showed college and vlogged it, I feel like, again, that was like a decision that you had to make for yourself. Like, and college just like wasn't something that was for you. And that's fine. So the reality of having a career in social media, I feel like is so different from the way that people perceive it online. And just like any other job, it comes with the good, the bad, and the ugly moments. And I feel like the most unexpected thing about this lifestyle that I would tell like my younger self before starting this career, I feel like I had no idea that it was going to affect like my mental health so much. Because going into it, like I just thought that it was obviously like we just did it for fun, and I was just posting like vlogs of me in college and posting outfits that I liked and things that I bought. And then over time, I started posting more and more vlogs, and people got to like know me from the videos. And then along comes the hate
And like forming their own opinions on anything you do, and
and the bullying.
oh my gosh, the bullying.
Especially nowadays with TikTok, bullying online has just, in my opinion, gotten so much worse than it used to be.
I'd have to say my least favorite platform is TikTok. I like don't get hate on Instagram or YouTube, but TikTok is just available to everybody. The age range on TikTok is like very, very young, and I feel like a lot of the young kids just don't know. Like, I don't know, TikTok's so easy to like just sit there and just hate on people's lives, I feel, because there's no filter there at all.
Yeah, I don't get good energy like from TikTok
Neither
to
do
begin
I.
with, but also like when I do go on, because I go on TikTok every day and all I see is like people hating on other people. And
Oh my
right
gosh,
now
yeah.
is like the big thing with like Selena Gomez and Hailey Bieber. And I've even gotten messages from people being like,
People have asked
what's your
me.
opinion?
Yeah.
Whose side are you on? And I'm like, oh my God, like I literally couldn't care less.
No.
I obviously like Hailey Bieber's style, and I've liked Selena Gomez songs in the past, like, but I'm not gonna
And I
get
love her
into
makeup brand.
Yeah, and I love Rare Beauty, so
Yeah.
it's like I'm not gonna get into detail about
No.
who I like and who I don't like and pit two women against each other, which is just like the weirdest thing to me, that people take so much time out of their day to even like make videos about them and to hate on them and to send them hate, comment on all of their Instagram accounts and say stuff. It's like really the wildest thing to me. And I can't imagine like what it does for their mental health. And I can't imagine like what the person who's doing the bullying, what their mental health is like.
I've seen some of the craziest things posted about the both of them. And I mean, like, both of them obviously have struggled with mental health in the past. Everyone does. But I just couldn't imagine what it's putting them through. And also, people just like, no one has the right to comment on someone else's life because you don't know them. That's not your life, you know? Like, I feel like I would never go out there and be like, oh, this girl this girl that, because like I don't know them personally. And second of all, bringing down anyone is wrong, but like women should be sticking up for each other in all situations rather than bringing each other down, because we all are sensitive at the end of the day.
At least for me, when I started to get more hate comments and like deal with people like bullying online, it really did make me like change the way that I was producing content, and honestly like changed what I share, because I feel like my content, I used to be like so much more open, and I just would literally like say whatever came to my mind and show everything that I was doing. And then I feel like over time, like more and more people started to pick apart literally every single thing that I was doing, saying, wearing, and it just was like,
It makes you not be yourself.
exactly. And it gets to a point where you're like, well, what's gonna please you?
I remember there was this one time, like 2020, 2021, that whole year, people would make fun of the way that I talk in my speech and like basically say that, oh my God, they'd say like the worst stuff ever and use words that you should not use when describing anybody. And I was just like, how can people come on here and say anything like that? Like, they don't know anything that's going on. Like, I mean, everyone stutters. I stutter all the time when I talk, not because it's like I don't have a speech impediment, but also sometimes I just speak a lot faster than
And
my
even
mind
if
works.
you did have a speech impediment, who cares? I'm gonna slay the day with my speech impediment, and no
sure,
one's
but-
gonna talk shit, because that's really rude.
No, it's so rude. I just people are just so ruthless.
It makes me
online
so
nowadays.
mad.
I'm not kidding. The second that TikTok came out, people started to get rude.
I literally, when you said 2020, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. Once COVID happened, that's when the internet changed. Because
know.
before that, like, people have commented about this on my YouTube also, and they were like, I completely agree. Like, when lockdown happened, I think that people just obviously were going crazy from that. And then it's like the hate started. People started making like these anonymous pages and writing about people online. And it just like, the internet really changed. It just got different in 2020, like during the pandemic. But I don't know. I feel like I really just try to keep doing my thing and ignore what the people say, because at the end of the day, like, the amount of people who are supportive and leave positive comments is obviously so much bigger than the amount of people who like leave the negative hate comments. And I don't know why it's like this, but it's like the negative comments, even though there's more positive than negative, the negative is so much louder. And that's like what sticks in my head. And it's
Me
so
too.
up, but it's like that's what I think about when I'm recording. And I want to change this. Like I think about the things that people say that are negative and I'm like, okay, well, I need to change this because that person said it. But like, no, there's so many people who support and who are kind and leave and take time out of their day to like leave really nice comments that like we just need to focus on the positives because it really does
There's
outweigh
definitely a lot
the
more
negative.
positives than negatives, but they are crazies.
Having done YouTube for, I mean, 5, almost 6 years now, I definitely have gone through times where I have felt more burnt out or like I've run out of ideas for posting just because I feel like I've been doing it for so long that I just like don't want to get repetitive. And then I'm like, wait, I've like already shown this. So I feel like some things that I like to do is I do like to ask my audience, obviously, like what they want to see because you guys are so creative and give me such good ideas on things that I would have never thought of, like to show in my vlogs.
I really like to take little breaks because then it gets you excited and it gives you more, like for me at least, when I give myself breaks between, like I'll have like weeks where I'll film like basically every single day. But if I give myself little breaks and stuff like that, like at least a weekend or like a week off or something like that from any type of filming, I get way more excited to get back. I have so many ideas of what I want to film next and new little, I don't know, like for me, creative things come out when I let myself rest. Or else I'm just going to be trying to like create content and all I'm doing is thinking like content, you know?
Yeah, I agree. Like taking time and like not feeling bad about like taking a week off or something is really good. And on the positive side, I feel like yes, there are like obviously negatives that come with doing social media, like with people bullying and talking about you and like leaving mean comments and getting burnt out and all the stuff that is negative. I feel like there are so many positives that come with it. And I am very, very grateful for what we do. And
I am too.
like so grateful for everybody who like watches my YouTube videos, who supports me. And I love meeting you guys in person. Like that's one of my favorite things, and like talking about like where you're from and stuff like that. So that is one of the things that makes it like so worth it. And I feel like I've just gotten so many opportunities and been able to do so many amazing things because of this career that I never expected that I would be doing. So I feel like there are just so many more positives than negatives, but I just like did want to touch upon the things that do go on behind the scenes that aren't always like obviously the glamorous side of like social media, because I feel like you see all of the content posted when it's like finished and on your Instagram feed and like in your vlogs, but it's not always like that. But yeah, I don't want to obviously like take away from all of the good that comes with it and like the positivity and the kind people, because there really are way more nice people than there are like mean. What's been your favorite thing, before we get into the audience Q&A, that you have gotten to do because of social media, or like a highlight in your career?
A highlight in my career, recently I had a whole entire meet and greet. Well, I hosted a Pilates event, which turned into a meet and greet, where I got to connect with all of my followers that were able to show up. And the most like insane thing to me, first of all, how many girls showed up. It was a ton. Second of all, some of the girls I talked to traveled so far just to go there. Like a ton of girls came from Connecticut, which is not close to Boston. That's 2.5, 3 hours away, depending on where you're coming from. It could be even more. And then some girls came from Wisconsin. Some girls drove from Canada. And I just feel like that's, I don't know. That was like so crazy to me. But being able to put faces and names to a number and also have an event where like we can all just hang out with each other was just probably one of the coolest things. Like if you had told me when I was 16 that in a few years I was going to be able to put my own event together and be able to invite all of my fans there and like actually hang out with them and meet them and talk to them for like how it was probably the event took like 3 hours. Like I would have been like, no, but that's, I don't know. I just think that was one of the coolest things that I've ever done. It felt so rewarding too, because people there, girls came up to me and they're like, I just made new friends being with all the, like meeting all the other girls because they all have something in common being there, that they like my content. But also I got to meet a ton of girls who just like thanked me for getting them through like little things in life or something like that, which makes doing this as a job so meaningful and so just rewarding, you know?
I was literally just about to say that because I was at the event too, and I just met all the girls and got to talk to everybody, and everybody was so nice. And a lot of the conversations we were having, we were talking about how all of us have similar interests, obviously, because if they watch our videos, like they are interested in the same type of stuff that we are. And so it just brought together so many like-minded women, and it was really cool. And also a lot of people, surprisingly, which I was telling them, I'm like, I would never have the courage to go to an event with this many people by myself. So many girls were showing up alone and then making friends with the other girls that were there, and it was the coolest thing. And everybody was just so sweet and nice, and I feel like it was just a great event overall, and just shows you like how amazing and strong your community is. And it was such a fun day, and I was so happy to be there and support you and obviously meet everybody. So that was really cool. And I definitely want to do more. I feel like we should do one over the summer.
Raylan and I were talking about that.
I love that. The one thing that is something that I got to do because of this career that I never expected was having a clothing line with Revolve. My collection launching March 30th. But yeah, I just cannot even believe it because I have been into fashion for as long as I can remember. Like when I was in second grade, I used to do sketches of like models with clothing on, and I would write books in my second grade class, and my teacher would like laminate them and everything, and you could like bring them home. And my mom had them, and I think that they got thrown away like when mom and dad got divorced, and I'm so sad. I wish I still had them, but I literally used to write books, and I was really into monkeys when I was younger. I don't know why. And I would write these books about these monkeys that were really into fashion, and they would like go to the mall and they would do fashion shows, and they would like drive around in a silver convertible, and I would like illustrate these books, like literally illustrate them. And I just had always like been super into fashion and stuff like that. So just being able to have this opportunity to have my own clothing collection with a brand that I've been a huge fan of for so long has just been amazing, because honestly, like I had dreamed about this for so long, but I never thought that it would happen when it did, because I was like, okay, I don't have like 1 million followers. There's no way that they would want me to do something like this. But also going back to what we said earlier about like making money on social media and like even opportunities, like they really don't care that much about how many followers you have. I feel like it's more about like your engagement and the quality of your content and just how people are like interacting with your content. Like it has nothing to do with your follower count nowadays, which I really like, because you could be somebody who's like a smaller creator and have a really engaged audience and still be able to have like really amazing opportunities as some of these people with millions of followers, you know? Okay, you guys, we asked you for questions about working in social media or getting started as a content creator. So we wanted to answer some of your questions. And the first one is, how are management breakups?
We've only had one management breakup.
Yeah, well, we've never even talked about, I've never talked about this like anywhere. Basically, like the advice that I have of dealing with like management breakups and management as a whole is definitely make sure that you're reading your contracts.
Well, number one, make sure you're doing what is best for you and nobody else, because at the end of the day, it's your brand and also like no one else's, you know? Like you have to really hone in on, are they helping you as a whole?
Yeah, definitely be careful like with who you are signing with. If you're starting out, and read your contracts and all of that. And dealing with management breakups, I would say just knowing, obviously, like when you are done with your contract, because I just feel like don't let anybody take advantage of you, because I feel like you need to really have your own back and not be so trusting of other people, because like you really don't know their intentions. Personally, we have only been with 2 different management companies, and there's one management company that we were with and we ended up, like, our contract had completely expired. Like, we stayed the whole entire duration of the contract and then it ended, and we never got paid for like months worth of brand deals that we were owed. So it was kind of just like, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know like really what to say about this. I've never talked about it before. But that's just something like behind the scenes that like went on. Just be careful.
Because you're like signing like your, like, not like your life away, but it's like you just have to really make sure that you deeply, deeply, deeply trust the people who are on your team.
And you read your contracts, and then also you can obviously have like a lawyer read over it as well and then support you if you like you need any help. But definitely be very careful and just make sure you read everything and have your own back.
And with breakups, just know that when you are moving on, things just get better and better. It's always like a next step, you know?
As hard as it can be, because you do get so close to the people you work with, like you do have to remember at the end of the day, like this is your job and you are a professional. So you grow and you change, and not everybody is going to stay at the same job that they started like right after college or like their first job they ever got. Like that's not the job that you're going to have for your whole entire life. For some people, maybe it is, but you have to remember that although this is like a fun job and not like a really traditional job, it still is professional, and it's okay to like decide that you don't want to be with a certain management company forever.
Yeah.
Number 2, as an influencer, do you get lonely?
Yeah, I feel like I get lonely sometimes because it's not like you're going into an office space from whatever time to whatever time and like seeing all your coworkers. It's really very independent. Our coworkers are our manager or our team, whoever is part of our team. You don't see them face to face every single day. We talk on the phone here and there, we text, but it's like not very face to face. It's all through phone, computer, and stuff like that. So I feel like it does get lonely.
And I feel like some people can relate now, especially with jobs being remote because of COVID.
It gets different. I feel
It's
like a lot of people
lonely.
have talked about like not liking remote because they like to go into like an office and actually see people
And socialize.
Yeah, and socialize. But we are lucky that we do get to go to events. We get to go to meetups. We get to go to, well, meet and greets. We get to go to like have the like weekend trips with brands, like brand trips and stuff like that, because that is a working trip or a working event where you get to see people.
Yeah, and there are times to socialize, but it does get lonely. And if you work remote because of the pandemic, like you definitely can relate. And I found that I feel like I just started to miss like human interaction when I started the YouTube, because I feel like I was spending like most of my days like by myself in the beginning. This is like before you move to Boston and stuff. I have just like figured things out and now have like a good balance.
Last question, advice for how to stand out in the crowd these days. I feel like to stand out, the only way you're really going to stand out is being yourself, because when you start doing what everyone else is doing, you just fall into that category of being like doing whatever, like being everyone else, you know? But if you be yourself and do things that make you happy and create content that way and talk about things that you are passionate about and that you love and make it a different way, then people are gonna most likely like you because you're different. Like you can get ready with me videos from every single person, but if you switch it up a little bit, you can do, you know, like people might like you for that.
Exactly. And I feel like a lot of people do like to say that social media is very saturated and stuff like that, but I really believe that there is room for everybody. Honestly, everybody has the greatest gift in life, and that is your own uniqueness. And so honestly, just being yourself and being unique and kind of honing in on your own interests, which I would recommend stop consuming content. Like, honestly, almost completely, because I feel like it's very easy to be swayed by watching other people's content, because obviously, like, if you're consuming so much content, you're picking up on either things people do or things that they're showing, and obviously, like, you're gonna try them, and if you like them, it's just like can be a bit repetitive. So I would say try to not consume a lot of content, just like purely create from the heart. And I feel like just being yourself is the best thing to do, and there's room for everybody, and you'll be just fine. So
I agree.
But thank you guys all so much for tuning in, and thank you for sending all of your questions in. I hope that we got to everything in this episode that you guys were wondering. Maybe we can even do a part 2 and talk more about social media, go into detail about things, maybe have our manager on the show and she can talk about like the back end of things. That would be super fun. Make sure to subscribe, listen on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your shows. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Maggie McDonald
And Emma McDonald.
and we will see you guys next week.
Love
you.
ya.
Bye.
Bye.